The U.S. is tracking a big drop in tourism from around the world. Take a look at this. Travel from Canada and Mexico was down double digits in March. We're also seeing fewer visitors from Western Europe, Central and South Asia, South America, I should say.
Many businesses are bracing for what could be a sluggish summer. Visitors are even being told by their home countries to take their vacations and money elsewhere.
Here in New York, tourism is also being hit big time. Once again, driven by negative sentiment toward the USA.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars. Some are saying that could signal trouble ahead for the U.S. economy.
The U.S. is also the top travel destination for Canadians, with 20.4 million visits in 2024 for work or vacation. And some may be offloading their vacation homes.
Stunning images of near-empty passenger planes are popping up on social media. These international flights have many tourists flying to the USA practically alone.
In 2025, the U.S. tourism industry is facing an unprecedented crisis, a crisis that is not being discussed enough. The impact of Trump's tariffs is hitting the tourism sector hard. It's leading to a $29 billion loss in 2025 alone. That's not just a minor setback. It's a massive blow to America's economy. The question is, how did we get here? How did a trade war that was supposed to benefit U.S. industries cause so much damage to the tourism industry? When Trump introduced tariffs, no one predicted how it would affect foreign travel to the U.S. The tourism industry has long been one of America's most lucrative sectors, but now international visitors are staying away in record numbers. Cities like New York, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas are seeing dramatic declines in tourism, and the results are evident. Hotel bookings are down, theme parks are quieter, and museums are losing visitors. But it's not just about fewer people visiting. It's about the billions that are lost when foreign tourists don't spend money on food, hotels, and entertainment.
I've been to Vegas like probably 20 times, and I definitely think this is the slowest I've seen in a long time.
We were not expecting it to be that expensive. It's quite expensive.
In today's video, we'll explore why this is happening and what it means for the future of American tourism. We'll look at the facts, the numbers, and how this crisis could shape the U.S. economy for years to come. So stay tuned, because we're about to break down the hidden crisis that's affecting all of us. Number one, the impact of tariffs on U.S. tourism. Let's begin by understanding the root of the problem. When President Trump introduced his trade tariffs in 2018, many saw it as a bold move to protect American industries. But there's one industry that has suffered immensely as a result: tourism. The tariffs initially targeted imports, but the ripple effect was felt across multiple sectors. Foreign countries, particularly China, Europe, and Canada, retaliated with their own measures. The impact: travel became more expensive for their citizens. Flight costs went up, hotel prices increased, and tourism visas became harder to obtain. What this meant for international visitors was clear. America became less affordable and ultimately less attractive as a travel destination. According to Axios, in 2025, international travel to the U.S. decreased by 7% compared to previous years. That's a huge dip for an industry that generates over $1.9 trillion annually. But it doesn't end there. It's not just about higher costs. The perception of America has also changed. For many foreign tourists, the hostile political environment and stricter visa policies are major deterrents. Add to that the uncertainty brought on by the tariffs, and it's no wonder that many are choosing other destinations. For instance, Europe saw a 15% increase in international travel in the same period. Why? Because people simply felt more welcomed and less burdened by the costs associated with travel. The $29 billion loss that America faced in 2025 is a reflection of this growing trend. This isn't just an issue for airlines or theme parks. It's a national issue that affects local businesses, restaurants, museums, and even smaller cities that rely on tourism. And the most alarming part? These numbers are only expected to get worse if the current policies continue. So the question remains, how much longer can the U.S. afford to lose billions of dollars from international tourism? This is just the beginning of the deeper issues facing the U.S. economy. Number two, the decline in international visitors. Now that we understand the link between Trump's tariffs and the tourism decline, let's take a closer look at who is staying away. The U.S. has always been a top destination for international travelers, particularly from countries like Canada, Europe, and Asia. But in 2025, this trend took a sharp turn for the worse. The biggest decline in international visitors comes from Canada, one of the U.S.'s most consistent tourism markets. According to S&P Global, Canada saw a 25% drop in visitors to the U.S. in 2025, a staggering figure that points to the deepening impact of tariffs and trade restrictions. But it's not just Canada. Europe, too, is sending fewer tourists to America. Visitors from the UK, Germany, and France are now heading to other destinations. Whether it's Canada, Mexico, or even Asia, more and more Europeans are bypassing the US as their travel choice. Why is this happening? First, there's the cost of travel. Tariffs have increased the price of everything from flight tickets to hotel rooms. For international travelers, these rising costs are a significant barrier. Second, there's the complex visa process. The Trump administration implemented stricter visa policies, making it harder and more time-consuming for travelers to get approved to visit the U.S. This has led to frustration and confusion among potential tourists. Third, there's the overall perception of the U.S. as a travel destination. According to a survey from Reuters, nearly 40% of international travelers have cited the political climate in the U.S. as a reason for not visiting. They see the country as less welcoming and increasingly difficult to navigate, especially for those from countries that have been targeted by tariffs or immigration restrictions. As a result, tourists are choosing alternative destinations. Let's take Mexico, for example. The number of travelers heading south of the border has surged, with tourism to Mexico increasing by 15% in 2025. And it's not just Mexico that's seeing gains. Asia has become an increasingly popular destination for travelers, as countries like Japan, Thailand, and Vietnam offer more affordable, accessible, and friendly environments for international tourists. But the question remains, what does this mean for the U.S.? If this trend continues, the U.S. could lose billions in tourism revenue over the next few years. And it's not just about the economics of travel, it's about the cultural exchange that comes with tourism. The lack of foreign visitors means fewer opportunities for Americans to connect with people from different cultures and backgrounds. The impact isn't just limited to the big cities or popular tourist spots like New York or Los Angeles. Smaller towns and local businesses across the country are also feeling the effects of this decline. Restaurants, small shops, and even tour guides are reporting a loss of income as international tourists are staying away. Number 3, the impact on key U.S. tourist cities. Now let's talk about what's happening in the cities that have long depended on international tourism. Las Vegas is one of the hardest hit cities. Once a thriving hotspot for tourists from all over the world, Las Vegas is seeing a dramatic decline in international visitors. According to reports, tourism in the city is down by 20% in 2025 compared to previous years. The famous Strip is quieter, hotels are offering discounts just to fill rooms, and high-end restaurants are struggling to keep up their revenue. Even the casinos, which once thrived on foreign tourists, are now facing reduced foot traffic. For a city that generates billions from tourists every year, this decline is devastating. But it's not just Las Vegas. New York City, the most visited city in the U.S., is also feeling the pinch. Times Square, usually teeming with tourists, is now seeing fewer crowds. Broadway shows are not selling out like they used to, and some theaters are reporting empty seats on nights that were once fully booked. The decline in international tourists is affecting restaurants, hotels, and transportation services. Los Angeles, another major tourism destination, is not immune either. Universal Studios and Disneyland are reporting a drop of up to 15% in international visitors. While domestic tourism still holds up, it's the international guests who contribute the most to the economy in cities like these. What does this mean? It's not just about the big-ticket attractions that are suffering, it's the local businesses that rely on the tourist economy. Small shops, cafes, and even tour guides in these cities are facing a decline in sales and tips. For instance, in New York, shops selling souvenirs and niche products are seeing much fewer customers. Small businesses that depend on tourists for survival are now struggling to make ends meet. So what's the overall impact? It's not just about fewer people visiting these cities. It's about the economy of these cities being severely affected by the drop in tourism. With fewer international tourists, these cities are losing billions of dollars. Number 4, the ripple effects, how this affects other sectors. The tourism crisis in the U.S. isn't just affecting tourist cities. It's having a ripple effect across several industries. Let's break down how the loss of international visitors is impacting other sectors of the economy. Retail is one of the first industries to feel the impact. When foreign tourists don't come, they don't shop. Luxury brands in places like New York and Los Angeles rely heavily on international shoppers, particularly those from Asia and Europe. Reports show that high-end stores are now seeing a 15% decrease in sales, with fewer tourists entering stores to purchase expensive goods. This doesn't just affect luxury goods, it impacts every level of retail. From small shops to large chain stores, the lack of tourism dollars means less income for local businesses. Transportation is another sector being hit hard. Airlines are struggling to fill seats on international flights. American Airlines reported a 15% drop in international bookings in 2025, with flights to Europe, Asia, and even Canada seeing fewer passengers. The situation is similar for car rental companies and bus tours. When fewer tourists arrive, the demand for rental cars, shuttle services, and tour buses plummets, leading to decreased revenues and layoffs in these sectors. Then, there's the hotel industry. Hotels across the U.S. are facing lower occupancy rates. According to Travel Weekly, some cities are seeing occupancy levels as low as 60%, down from 90% just a few years ago. Luxury hotels in cities like New York, Chicago, and San Francisco are particularly hard hit. Many are offering deep discounts just to fill rooms, but it's not enough. And restaurants aren't exempt. In major tourist cities, restaurants that cater to tourists are seeing empty tables. Fine dining establishments in places like Las Vegas and Miami are losing significant revenue as international visitors are staying away. For these businesses, tourism is a lifeline, and without it, many are struggling to survive. But the effects go even further. The education sector is another key area feeling the strain. International students have long been a significant source of revenue for U.S. universities, particularly in fields like engineering, business, and healthcare. However, with fewer foreign students coming to the U.S., due to stricter visa regulations and a less welcoming political climate, universities are seeing a decline in enrollment. The result? Less money coming into these institutions and the surrounding communities. The tourism crisis facing the U.S. is real, and it's growing worse by the day. In 2025, the U.S. lost $29 billion in tourism revenue due to a combination of Trump's tariffs, stricter immigration policies, and the overall hostile environment that foreign visitors now face. From iconic cities like Las Vegas, New York, and Los Angeles, to industries like retail, transportation, and education, the ripple effects of this crisis are felt everywhere. What's at stake is more than just tourism dollars. It's the future of a nation that has always been a global leader in cultural exchange and economic influence. The decline in international visitors doesn't just affect businesses, it affects the heart of America's economy and the relationships we build with the rest of the world. The question remains, can the U.S. afford to continue down this path? If the current policies remain unchanged, the tourism sector may never recover to its former heights. American cities will lose billions in revenue, and businesses, both large and small, will continue to struggle. The solution is clear. The U.S. must rethink its approach to tariffs and immigration policies to make the country a welcoming destination once again. It's time for America to embrace the global community and invest in policies that will revitalize the tourism industry and restore the country's position as a top travel destination. If you're concerned about the future of America's economy, now is the time to act. Contact your local representatives, share this video, and start a conversation about how we can bring the tourism industry back to life. Together, we can make a change. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more in-depth analysis on issues that matter.